National Construction Appreciation Week starting on September 15th. We want to take a moment to recognize the hard work and dedication of those in the construction industry. But with the hard work comes risks, and today we've got our friend David Greene with Greene and Phillips to discuss the legal aspects of construction injuries. David, it's good to see you.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're glad you're here with us. So construction work, obviously very important, but it does come with some risks. What are some of the injuries that you guys typically hear about?
I'll tell you what, we see this all the time. We see folks that have fallen. We see objects that have fallen on top of someone. You've got large equipment being moved around, people being struck by that equipment. There are all so many things that can happen in the construction industry. It's very industrial type things. So many times folks are injured in this realm, and they can be very serious injuries.
Yeah, so let's talk about what they need to do if they do have an injury, whether big or small. What's the first step?
Well, number one is make sure you report it to your supervisor. Make sure that the authorities all know. Make sure 911 is called. Generally, that's going to happen. 911 is going to be called. The authorities come out, make sure they take care of you. But it's very important to make sure if you're injured on a construction site that you tell your boss and they fill out the first report of injury, because that's very, very important. That has to be filed with the state of Alabama. Very important for your workers' compensation benefits, as well as any third-party case that you might have from it.
Of course. So let's say there is an injury. What role do you guys play after all of that is said and done? Well,
it's just important to make sure you get a local law firm like the lawyers here at Greene and Phillips. We investigate the case. We work hand in hand with getting the information with the authorities. Go ahead and prove your case up, put your case together, and then figure out whether or not the case can be settled or if the case has to be filed in order to move forward with litigation. So you really need a lawyer, whether it's the lawyers at Greene and Phillips or someone else locally. Get a local law firm that understands construction accidents and injuries that can help put your case together to make sure you maximize your benefits, because once it's over, it's over. Yeah. So you need to maximize your case.
Let's talk about the difference, whether it's someone who's worked for the company for 15 years or it's someone who is just a day laborer and has been paid in cash to work for that 12 hours. Is there a difference if there's an injury?
Sometimes there is. It's just an individual situation. We've had cases over the years where folks were employees that were paid on the clock, and then sometimes they were paid daily. But you really need to make sure that you get someone that can help figure that out, because you don't want to be shortchanged. If you've been working on that job site just today and you're hurt, you're still eligible to be paid and to be taken care of. Sometimes people think they need to work somewhere for a long period of time. That's not the case. If you're on the clock working, you need to be paid. So you need to talk to a local law firm. Super important.
And finally, let's talk about some common misconceptions about the construction, specifically injury in the legal process. What are some of those?
Well, it's a lot of times people think that it's only workers' compensation, or I'm only entitled to a certain amount of benefits, or if I'm on the job, maybe I'm not entitled to anything. And so that's really one of the things that's sort of wrong. You're entitled, if you're on the clock, you're entitled to workers' compensation, and there's certain things that are required under state law to make sure that you're compensated and paid, as well as being taken care of as far as your medical benefits. And so that's a little bit different. And then there may be a third-party case, which is an additional case that can actually add value to what's happened to you. And if you've been injured, you want to make sure you maximize those benefits like we talked about.
All good details to know and to keep in mind. David, if someone needs legal advice about what we've been talking about this morning or any type of typical case, how can they get in contact with you guys?
It's very simple. You can go to greenphillips.com, fill out the contact form, or call us at 251-300-2000.
All right, David, good to see you. And we're going to have everything you need to know on our website, fox10tv.com.